to start with the tree. And we're going to take some double-sided tape. You can use whatever you like. You can use regular tape if you want to. And then taking your tree, you're going to, this large part right here is where we're going to start from. So you'll see a large opening towards the base of the tree that we're just going to put some tape on the backhand side. And then there's no wrong way to do the tying of the tree. So we're going to, so it's, once it's stuck to the back part, I'm going to bring it around the front. And I'm just going to put it just somewhere in between the branches. I'm just going to, you have plenty of string for this one. Okay, and then I'm going to bring it back up. You just want it to look like it's tied to the car. So I'm just going to weave it around real easily. And then I'm going to bring it back around and stick it back to that piece of tape we put on there. So make sure it's big enough. And then we're just going to snip it off. And then your tree is done. We're going to start the left-hand side of the page first. We've already pre-cut our gray mounting cards, and that's on a previous slide that we did, where there's two that are at 3.5 by 5.5 for the left-hand side page, and then also a 3 by 2.5 that goes in the center with a snowflake on it. So what we're going to do is we're just going to start putting this stuff together. This is a really easy kit to put together. And there's no wrong way to do it. The trees can be in any order. If you dislike a color or if you want to add a color, like if you want to add some burgundy or something like that into the kit, you can absolutely do that. So we're going to take our mounting cards. Like I said, these are 3.5 by 5.5. The smaller one is 3 by 2.5. So we're going to go ahead and we are going to drop those into place. I'm not going to do heavy tacking on these because it's just for video. If you want to add more, you can absolutely do that. I'm going to go roughly about 1/2 inch from the edge. And if you guys have crafted with me before, you know I like to keep everything symmetrical and even. And this is great because this paper is so easy to do that with. So we're just going to lay those two in. Oh, that guy's a little crooked. So I'm just going to pick him up real gently, make him a little straighter, and lay him in there. For the small one that has the snowflake on it, I'm just going to add a little adhesive. And again, if you want to put a larger mounting card in here, or if you want to make this into like a mini album or something like that, you can most definitely do that. Or you could even make a really cute pocket card so that you can pull out for journaling. We're going to add on top of there the snowflake that we added. It's just a silver snowflake with the gold gem that we added to the pack. So that is going to go right there. For the sake of this video, I'm going to just keep it flat. So as you can see from how I'm laying this down, I'm pretty much going straight down this line, and then I just want it on the middle of that mounting card. So that's easy enough. We're going to be doing the tree in a minute. So we're going to, the tree in the car. So I'm just going to set those aside, and we're going to start with the trees. I'm going to give you a little refresher on what it looks like. And that goes with the large dot, the silver, small dot, plaid, and then the buffalo check with snowflakes on it. So I already pulled those aside. And there's no real rhyme or reason to this. You can, if you decide there's something else you like better, you can absolutely do that. There's all our trees. So the next thing we're going to do is take our car that we put together before. I'm just going to recap it real quick. So we have the tires that go on there with the silver metallic hubs. Those, I did pop dot it on mine for this car. Put the vellum piece. It's a strange little piece that I made that goes into the window area. And I just tacked it right in between the windows, this solid piece on the back side, so that it would hold in there really well. And then for the smoke that's coming out of the back of the car, we just mounted the silver glitter onto the vellum. So then that just gets put down wherever you would like it and wherever you think it works best. So I'm just going to put some on here. We do have pop dots on here. That's just to give it a little bit more dimension on my side. So we're just gonna line up the wheels at the bottom of the layout. Kind of gets in the middle, just make sure that you're compensating for the parts that are gonna be cut off. So that's what we have right there. So setting that down. This is the tree that we did in the previously in the video you saw where we wrapped around the twine. If you want to, if you're adding in color to this, a great way to add color, if you're adding into this part, if you want to put, let's say this tree, you're going to put purple, that you could add some purple ribbon to the tree part versus what we have with this, what we thought it looked kind of snowy and wintry. So I'm going to actually put some pop dots on here, and my pop dots are over here. And I'm going to put like 3 on here. I just want this so it doesn't look flat on the layout. But again, if you want to do it flat, if you're one of those people that does not like pop dots, then you're more than welcome to do it nice and flat. I'm going to take off maybe a little sticky. And I'm going to, you just want it to kind of be resting on top of there. And that's that side. Now I'm going to trim off. You can see on here that I have them sticking off the edges on both sides. We're going to take those and put them aside because they are going to go, one of them for sure is going to go on the next, the other side, the right hand side. So I'm just going to hand trim these. You can obviously use a paper trimmer, but for the sake of this video, that's what I'm going to do. So this piece that goes into the gully is going to, we're just going to stick it on this side to make it cohesive. So I'm just going to save that and put it aside. And then this one, you can just save for whatever you'd like. And then when it comes to the snowflakes, you can put them wherever it works with your photos. For the right-hand side, it's pretty much exactly what you did on the other side, especially with the trees and how we're laying things out, but we'll go through it anyhow. This is what the finished layout looks like, and this is your mini album that's at the bottom. You don't start with our trees at the bottom this time, just so that we have everything placed correctly. So, again, we're just going to quickly lay them out. I'm going to start with the, maybe a tape runner that actually works, if I have one. If not, we'll, there we go. Okay, so we're going to lay this one in. And again, I just line them up at the bottom. The middle tree is going to be your little mini album that we made ahead of time. And if you saw from the video, and if you didn't understand what the pencil was just so that there's some room so that your album will open up. The pencil serves as like your a spacer to make sure that these aren't too tight where you're going to rip the paper. All right, so we're going to put that right there. Next thing we're going to do is take the silver. This paper on, or the background on this one is really strange and comes off pretty easily. So be careful with the silver dot. You might want to use some liquid adhesive for it. It's a beautiful paper, but it's very delicate on the backhand side, almost like a handmade paper. Okay, so we're going to lay this one in there. The plaid one is going to go over here. And again, we're going to put it off the page. You can save these for another, if you want to do a tag with some of the extra pieces, there's plenty of pieces in this kit that you'll be able to have extra pieces. This one's a little bit funky because it's got this little edge on it. So we're just going to tuck that underneath this side. I'm not really sure what I think I was thinking that I was going to put it on the edge of the page, but then they look too small on the outside edge by themselves. So I moved him in and he's perfectly fine. Okay, so we have 4 of our trees done. Here's our mini album. We're gonna put that on there. And again, with your layout, make sure that you use plenty of adhesive so that things don't fall off. Okay, so we have all of that done. I'm gonna trim them real quick. Then we're gonna flip it over. And like I said, you can do it a little bit cleaner with a paper cutter. All right, so those can get put aside with your other scraps that you can use for something else. I'm also going to bring in that piece that I told you from the other side to keep things cohesive. That's this sliver of the buffalo plaid with the metallic snowflakes on it. And we're just going to lay that in there. You don't have to do this, but I just like it to keep it a little bit more cohesive. Okay, so we're going to lay that in there. So the next thing we're going to do is the snow portion for the headline. I love this headline. I think it's so pretty. With this chunky glitter, it's so pretty. With the vellum behind it, it just makes it look, you know, wintry and magical and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so when you're putting this one down, because of the vellum on it, we're going to stay like it doesn't have the vellum on there. We're just going to stay on the actual glitter backer of the letters so that the adhesive doesn't show through. So that's kind of an important fact. So I'm just going to go with my liquid adhesive on the big pieces and put some glue. You can use whatever kind of liquid adhesive you want. I currently use the Tombow, but I'm in the market to find something that I like a little bit better, that's a little bit more accessible. So as you can see, I didn't put that much on there. Then we're just going to tuck this around these trees, roughly in this area. This little edge right here, keep it up, because you're going to take your 3.5 by 5 mounting card, some adhesive on it, and we're just going to tuck it underneath the trees and a little bit underneath the snow on this side. And again, you can put it wherever you'd like. I'm going to put it roughly 1/2 inch down and 1/2 inch over. So roughly 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch. And I like to have the trees so when you have your picture, your photo in here, that they're actually over it, so it gives a little bit more interest. The next thing we're going to do is this gorgeous, I don't have a better word for it. I call it tuxedo black is what I tell my husband when he cuts things, because it's just so smooth. It's a glitter, but it's really, really fine. But same thing, it's two-sided. So we're just going to put a little bit of adhesive on the back side. You can use as much or as little as you want. I tend to err on the side of less is more. So we're just going to add some adhesive to that. And it fits right into this area. So roughly like that. So dashing through the snow. I love that, so cute. And again, I'm just going to quickly place the snowflakes that we pre-did on the video. Again, this is a carryover, which you can, however you decide to do it, how much or how little, so that the other half of it will go onto the left-hand side of the page. So I'm just going to throw on my little snowflakes. So he just kind of, any of the areas that you see that are kind of open or that maybe your eye is drawn to, just go ahead and throw a snowflake on it.